What's up, everybody? Straight right boxing talk back. Today we're breaking down Ohara Davies versus Josh Taylor. Good fight. Two really talented prospects from the UK. Davies, um, 15 and 0, 12 knockouts, 5'7", 69-inch reach, 25 years old. Josh Taylor, 9 and 0, 8 knockouts, 5'10", 69 and a half reach, 26 years old. Their last three fights, Davies had a second round knockout against I don't know how you say this. Chakib Fayoli, October 1st, 2016. Unanimous decision win over Andrea Scarpa, 11-26-16, and a third round knockout against Derry Matthews in what was also probably his best, definitely the best one of his career so far. I mean, that was a total fucking demolition job. That was March 4th, 2017. For Josh Taylor, a fifth round knockout of Dave Ryan, October 21st, 2016. A UD win over Alfonso Olveira, January 28th, 2017. And then a sixth round knockout of Warren Gilbert, uh, March 24th, 2017. Taylor's best win, it's hard to say. I mean, he's only had 9 fights so far, and he really hasn't fought anybody especially noteworthy, which is not to downgrade him because he really is a really talented fighter. So on to the strengths and weaknesses, starting with Davies. He's got a solid jab. He's a strong puncher with both hands, and he knows how to use his feet and punch from angles. He has a nasty disposition in and out of the ring, kind of like, excuse me, kind of like Crawford in a way. He reminds me of Crawford, just the nastiness about him. He's quick on his feet, and he throws unpredictable shots from unpredictable angles. He fights in a fan-friendly style, as does Taylor. Davies exhibits solid counterpunching ability, and he works the body well. He has what the fuck did I write here? He has a somewhat awkward style that works in his favor. He's physically very strong, also, and that shows. He's got a killer instinct when he smells blood, as was evident when he had Derry Matthews hurt. He's not tall, but he has incredibly long arms as well. For Josh Taylor, he has great size and strength for the division. He has an extensive amateur pedigree. He's a strong pressure fighter and a technically sound southpaw. He moves in and out of range very well, and he punches very accurately. Good combination puncher. He likes working from mid-range in mostly. He uses his jab well to get inside, where he does great work on the body with his heavy hands. He's a natural southpaw, but he can also fight orthodox. He's also very balanced. This fight will take place in Scotland to an overwhelmingly pro-Taylor crowd, so that'll probably play to his favor. He also feints very well. I mean, he's a very polished prospect overall. Definitely more polished than Davies, which is not a knock on Davies. He just doesn't have. He's a different style of fighter. Taylor has good hand speed and great timing and reflexes. He has power and accuracy to punch through the guard also, as was evident in the Dave Ryan fight. But so does Davies, and that you could see that when he fought Derry Matthews. So, on to the weaknesses, starting with Davies. He only had 9 amateur fights, which is hard to believe. He tends to leave himself open to body attacks, keeps his guard too low at times, and he leaves himself open. He needs space to throw punches, and he could stand to shorten his punches as well at times. He can be flat-footed and tend to throw single shots, and he also loads up a bit too often, in my opinion. He can be timed also and countered, despite his opposition so far, which that's not a good sign. And he could stand to improve his jab. It's effective, it's decent, but it could be much more of a weapon for him. He could also stand to move his head more thoroughly. To keep it off center. And he doesn't always bring his hands back to his chin, and that's not a very good idea, especially against a slick, powerful fighter. For Josh Taylor, he's only had 9 pro fights, albeit with 8 knockouts. He leaves himself open when closing range. Sometimes he seems willing to take one to land one as well occasionally. He can be made hesitant with good, fast feet and angles. Um, you know, that is a weakness, but that's not an uncommon weakness because you see guys that can move well and create space and change angles, and it's hard to adapt. He could use his height advantage to box from the outside more and control fighters with his jab. He has the skill to do that. He also can have a tendency to hit the back of the head and use his own head on the inside. He looked somewhat lackluster against Oliveira. Maybe it was jet lag, maybe it was the occasion, who knows. He still got the win, so that's a minor quibble. Another question is, how is his chin going to hold up? Davies can definitely punch. And this is, it's young in his career, but this is his biggest test so far. He also, another thing I noticed with Taylor is he abandoned the jab versus Oliveira, and it seemed like he was maybe trying too hard to impress and get the knockout, which is not at all unusual either. Uh, Granted, again, he did get the win, so not a big deal. Here's how Ohara Davies can win this fight. The fact that these two fighters are among the most talented prospects in the UK makes this a compelling fight, but a hard one to pick. Ohara Davies needs to use his feet to attack from angles and dip in and out of range against the taller, rangier fighter. Taylor prefers pressure and aggression, but could do well establishing his jab and varying his range and his attacks. Both men have shown they can punch, but the better resume thus far goes to Davis by a tick due to his battering of the normally quite durable and tough Derry Matthews, who retired after their fight. In order to win, Ohara Davies must be willing to fight fire with fire and trade punches with Taylor at times. But he'll need to be leery of Taylor's body attack and avoid loading up on his own shots as well. Both guys have KO power and the skill to go 12 and win by decision. In the end, I see this as a late stoppage win, the kind where one guy imposes his will and breaks the other guy down. I'm just not sure yet which guy will get their hand raised. You might lean towards Josh Taylor because of his amateur pedigree, and also he's got a size advantage in this fight. And I think technically he definitely brings more to the table. But I say that, and I look at Ohara Davies, and he's just not. He doesn't look. The way he fights is so. I want to. It's awkward, but it's effective. It's somewhat unusual. I like watching him fight. It's hard to. It's really hard to fucking pick a guy in this fight, really. But let me know who you guys have. I appreciate you guys listening. Straight Right Boxing Talk. I hope everybody's doing well, and I will catch you next time. See you later.